Good evening. Thank you for joining us this evening as we take some time to recognize our high school and college graduates. Um, I know this isn't going to be our traditional graduation recognition service, but we're going to try to keep it as close to home as we normally would. We're going to kick things off now with our slideshow of our graduating seniors. So enjoy. So at this time, I just want to share some brief words for our graduating class. Normally I would be saying something like, "You made it," or "Graduation's just around the corner." The sad truth is that you guys have been robbed of this milestone. Oh, you made it, and you are going to graduate, but not like anyone else before you. It's not fair, but as I'm sure you have all heard from your mom before, life is not fair. This still hurts, and I can't imagine what it would be like for you. However, I want to briefly take a moment to share some common ground that I noticed between you graduates and people from the Bible. The first person that sticks out to me that I believe you guys share common ground with is Joseph. You see, time after time, Joseph would rise to the occasion and make a positive out of a negative. As a child, Joseph was educated by his mother far above his brothers. There was quality time put into him that the others did not get. Joseph was highly educated for someone of his upbringing. He was favored by his father to the point that when the time came, Joseph could step into a position of leadership and have everything that he could possibly need to survive in this world. However, his brothers decided to take that away from him. They sold him into slavery, and from slavery, Joseph made a positive out of this and became a treasure in the household of Potiphar. But even in that, Joseph was wrongly accused and thrown into jail. In jail, Joseph made a positive out of this in that he was entrusted by the jailer. He even interpreted the dreams of some of his prison mates. One such being returned to Pharaoh, and Joseph saying, "Please do not forget me when you go back to Pharaoh's house." But Joseph again was forgotten. He was cast down. And even in that time, Joseph, with his own struggles, still stayed true to God, to the point that he was finally remembered and called upon by Pharaoh to interpret a dream, and in doing so, not only saved God's chosen people, but Egypt and the surrounding nations. And so from this, he kept his eyes on what was ahead and trusted God to take care of him. And you guys are firm in your faith, and I truly believe ready for whatever this world has to throw at you. Much like Joseph, you got your education, but now this negative has been thrown at you. But I can see that you guys can take this negative and turn it into a positive. I can see that you can take this unfair thing that has happened to you and said, "It will not get me down. My resolve will only be strengthened, and I will go out into this next chapter of my life with my head held high, because I don't get the recognition like others will get, but that doesn't matter to me. I'll prove myself from this point." And so I see that common ground that you guys have with Joseph, in the sense that Joseph would take a negative and he would turn it into a positive, and it would drive him on to do what God has called him to do. The second person that I see common ground with between you guys and this person is Moses. Moses had an education and growing up in Egypt, and after fleeing, he ended up having a great life. He was raised by the daughter of Pharaoh, so he would have had, at the time, the pinnacle of knowledge, the seat of knowledge would have been Egypt. And so here is Moses getting a phenomenal education growing up, and then after committing this murder, he has to flee from Egypt, everything he's ever known. But in this time that he flees and exiles himself, he finds a family. He finds a means to take care of them, and actually settles into a groove that's pretty comfortable until the day that God calls on him. And with much reluctance, Moses finally agrees to do what God has called him to do. And what I see with you guys, much like Moses, is that I see that no matter where life takes you, this resolve that you've displayed reassures me that when God calls, you will go. This resolve that you've displayed, that in these last few months where you've had to finish out a senior year that should have been enjoyable, should have been a time of reflecting, should have been a time of reminiscing, was a time that you had to finish your education online for some, if not all of you, in a more difficult setting. But you persevered. Your resolve rang true, and you finished out strong. And so because of that, I know that as time moves forward, and as you settle into a time that may be comfortable, you may have this family, you may have this great job, you may have this career, I know that in the time that I have spent around you guys, that this resolve will turn to accomplishing the means of God when He calls on you. Some of you have already felt that calling. Some of you, that time has not yet come. But I know that when it does happen, that you will go. The third person that I see common ground with is David. See, David left all that he knew to join the king's court. He grew up with his brothers and as a shepherd, and then a time came where Saul requested that he join the court, David would play the lute for Saul to help calm him. And a time came where Saul grew so jealous of David that he labeled David a traitor, and David had to run for his life, leaving behind his friends, his family, and the only home he had ever known. To live a life on the run. And even in his time of exile, David found people that he could take under his wing and protect. David began a nation within a nation, if you will, not to combat Saul, but strictly to protect these people. In a time where David could have cursed God, a time that David could have given up everything. No, David trusted in the Lord more, and with humility and righteousness, he waited on God's timing. Some of you are getting ready to leave everything that you've ever known and go to this new place to face a world that has labeled you an outsider. And then the other half of you are just finishing up that portion. You've left home, everything you've ever known, and you've started a new life. And now that chapter is ended, and you have to go out into the workforce, a whole new beast, and tackle this. But just like you've done before, just with this adversity that you're facing now, and just like you did when you graduated college, when you graduated high school, and some of you are experiencing right now, you faced it down, and you moved on to the next chapter of your life with, I believe, humility and seeking righteousness. And I know that all of you will face the world that has labeled you an outsider and is against you because you are for the things of God. I know that all of you will handle such things with humility and righteousness as you walk through this life and the world throws what it has in store at you. Some of you are going to face executives and bosses and stuff like that who choose to go against you because of your faith. And then others of you, as you go to college, you'll find professors who are going to challenge your faith, who don't believe in what you believe. But it is your job, much like Christ and much like David, to handle these things with humility and with righteousness. But I know in the time that I have got to spend with you guys that you will do just that. Like I said earlier, you're experiencing a milestone unlike anyone before you. This tells me something else about our graduating seniors. This group is a force to be reckoned with. So look out, world. You'll make it through this, and you'll tell the story the rest of your life, and at some point, you'll even be able to look back on this and laugh. It will become your very own, well, back in my day kind of story. And you'll get to tell it over and over again. The generations before you said that they walked to school uphill both ways in 6 feet of snow. And you'll get to tell people, well, back in my day, we had to survive the coronavirus in order to go to school. And you'll throw back your head and you'll laugh as you tell your children and your grandchildren exactly what it was like to live through this pandemic. What all this tells me is that you graduates can overcome whatever this world has to throw at you. And I know that our present day and future is in good hands. At this point, I want to take some time to recognize our seniors and some of their accomplishments. Leanne helped me with gathering all of this information, and so I'm going to share with you what information that we have on our graduating seniors, both high school and college. I'm going to start with our high school graduates. We have Brandon Cannon. He's graduating from Creekwood High School. He's planning on attending Tennessee College of Applied Technology. Plans to pursue a career in HVAC. Lexi Gibbs is graduating from Creekwood High School, planning on attending Nashville State. Peyton Hembry is graduating through a homeschool group, and at this particular moment is undecided on where to go next. Carter Mangrum is graduating from Creekwood High School. Hunter Plaster is also graduating from Creekwood High School. Last but not least, we have Mackenzie Widener, who's graduating from Creekwood High School. Mackenzie has a diploma of distinction, and she plans on attending Austin Peay, pursuing a degree nurse. Then we have our college graduates. We have Brendan Dickens. He's graduating from Cumberland University with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. He plans on continuing his education at Cumberland to pursue a master's degree. We have Hunter Keaton graduating from UT Martin with a bachelor's degree in business administration with a concentration in information systems management. Hunter was inducted into the National Society of Leadership and Success in 2019, inducted into the Pi Eta Sigma National Honor Society in 2017, recipient of the Outstanding Management, Marketing, and Information Systems Student Award for 2020. Hunter is the first student in UT Martin history to graduate with a double major in business management and information system management. He's graduating with the highest honors, cum laude. Allie Lee is graduating with honors from UT Martin with the Bachelor of Science in Human and Health Performances. And as I understand it, Allie is moving back home and she's going to be working around Dixon. And so we'll be happy to have her back. Levi Plaster is graduating from UT Martin with a Bachelor's of Business Administration with concentration of Finance. He's a recipient of the Dunnigan Chair of Excellent Rising Leader Award for 2019 through 2020, awarded to a student with superior work ethic and high potential for leadership in financial industry. He's graduating cum laude. He's starting a career at First Bank of Dixon as a portfolio manager. And again, we're going to be happy to have Levi around. Next we have Ali Rita, graduating from UT Martin with a Bachelor's of Science in Agriculture with a concentration in Animal Science Veterinary Technology. She will graduate with honors, cum laude, and she also received the Intercollegiate Athletic Student Athlete for Cheer Award. And last but not least, a name that we're all familiar with, Abby Williams, graduating from UT Martin with a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. She's inducted into the International Nursing Honor Society in the top 35% of nursing class. And she'll be beginning her nursing career at Horizon Medical Center on the medical surgical floor. Also, for those of you who are unaware, Miss Abby Williams will, in a short time, be having a name change. Levi and Abby will be tying the knot, and we will have a Mr. and Mrs. Levi Plaster. And so I know that as a church as a whole, we celebrate with them, and we're excited about that change that's coming. So congratulations, graduating seniors. We are all proud of you. As a church whole, I know that we all stand beside you to encourage you and to support you in these next milestones that you face. So well done, graduating seniors. We as a church whole are so incredibly proud of you. I want to tell you Just a couple of things before we end out the service. Seniors, we would greatly appreciate it if at your earliest convenience, if you can stop by the church and sign our graduate book that we have. We like to get everybody's signature in that. And we also have a little gift for all of you seniors. My graduating high school seniors, I would like for you to also stop by the church sometime so that I can take you over to the hangout and we can get you to sign the ceiling of the hangout. You get to put your signature up there with the seniors that have come before you. And then I'm also going to have t-shirts for you guys like we've done in the past, where you guys will get to put a handprint on each one of these shirts and sign your name. And this will be a keepsake for you. So please, at your earliest convenience, starting this next week, if you can stop by and take care of those things and pick up the gift that we have for you guys. At this time, I'm going to pray to dismiss us. And after I finish praying, make sure you stick around because I know that there's a couple of others who wanted to share with you exactly how proud they are of you. People who have had an influence in your life from childhood up. So make sure you stick around. Father God, we thank you so much for these seniors and what they mean to each of us, God, for their willingness to face this trial and to face it with God, with resolve, a impressive resolve, to finish what they started, and to accomplish the goals that they have. So God, I pray that you will bless them for that. Will help us as we try to reach out to them and to love on them and support them in this next stage of their lives, God. And make it abundantly clear to us exactly what it is that we need to do to help them succeed, God, that these seniors will know that they are not going it alone. Not only do they have you in their corner, but they also have us here at the church. So God, we are just so grateful to you and for the opportunity to know each and every one of these graduating seniors. And pray these things in your blessed and holy name. Amen.
Hey guys, this is Brother Dan.
And Elena.
We just wanted to put together a quick video and just say congratulations on your accomplishment, graduation coming up, and let you know how proud we are of you.
Just wanted to reassure you that even though this has been a challenging time and you have not been able to actually officially finish out your senior year, nothing can take away from you all of your accomplishments that you have accomplished through your whole school career. And we are very proud of you, and we know that you're going to do great.
Remember Jeremiah 29:11 too. The Lord, He just wants to prosper you and give you hope and give you a future. And we know you're going to have an awesome future as you seek God's will in your life. We're proud of y'all, and we love you.
Congratulations. Love you guys.
See you.
Hi guys, and congratulations. I'm sure you realize this is a turning point in your life. Whether you're graduating high school or graduating college, you may feel stressed as this new chapter begins. Whether you're starting college or starting your career, you may be unsure of what this new chapter holds for you. We want to encourage you with Jeremiah 29:11.
Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future."
We might not be sure of what the future holds, but He does, and His plans are perfect. Trust in Him.
I would like to encourage all of those who are graduating to join us for Sunday school for our last class, Life After You Graduate High School. We meet in the original building during Sunday school down the hall on the right.
Hope to see you guys there, and congratulations again.
Well, hello, 2020 Sylvia Baptist grads. I guess y'all know who I am. Yep, I'm the toilet paper youth pastor. Well, you 2020 grads know what I'm talking about being the toilet paper youth pastor, because you've left a lot of that at my house. Well, hey, here you are. You're about to graduate from college. Congratulations to all of y'all in that. And, you know, I was asked to share, Cody did, especially for these college grads. And, you know, we had such an awesome time that we got to spend together. And, you know, I'm reminded about that first time that we went to Teach Camp. and we went with a group of about, I think, in the low 20s or something like that. When I was there, I encourage y'all to be like the Apostle Andrew, and that is being a bringer. He brought Peter to Jesus, and he brought the boys' lunch to Jesus that Jesus fed the multitude, fed the 5,000 with. And so y'all did that, and a couple years later, we brought around 65 to Fuge Camp. And you know, we took in all during that time. Of course, there was a lot of youth got saved. We kept the baptistry waters busy at Sylvia Baptist, and it was just a super awesome time, you know, that we had. But you know, that is a great thing. And then even though this word has a negative feel to it these days, but I think y'all would also agree that y'all were contagious. That is that people wanted what you had, and that was something that was good, that you was contagious like that. And it made doing what I did, made my job, you know, a lot easier. And I thought about this, and I realized, you know, especially as you're about to graduate, as you think about those, what it was that made y'all special, how great it could be as you're about to graduate if you could be contagious like that in this next chapter in your life. You know, I realized that what we had was good, really good when we was there, but only after I moved on to pastor the church that what we had was something really special. And I hope that as you reflect back, graduates, that as you reflect back, that you see it as such too. And my hope and my prayer is, as you're about to move on with your lives, I just hope and pray that you can be a bringer, you can be contagious, and that hopefully in some way, shape, or form, you can bring that to the next chapter in your life. Thank you so much for this time that you've given me to share with y'all and to be praying for y'all. I love y'all so much.